Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Muqaddas Education Wali and I'm a student in Rehan School Foundation course batch 2. Today I will be asking some questions from Maya on the topic of please the evolution of politeness. So let's get started.
Hey there. What's up?
Hello, so can I start asking you questions?
Absolutely. Go ahead. What's your first question?
Why is saying please important in communication?
That's a really interesting question. Why does a simple please carry so much weight when someone's leaving? It feels like more than just a goodbye, doesn't it? Almost like a blessing or a wish for well being as they go. What made you curious about that one specifically?
Okay, so how does using please change the tone of a request?
Please is fascinating because it does so much with just one word. It completely softens a demand, right? Turn something that could feel bossy into, well, polite. But it's more than just politeness, isn't it? Adding please can subtly shift power dynamics too, almost like you're acknowledging the other person has a choice. What's your take on how it alters a conversation?
So, do people sound more respectful when they say please? Why?
Absolutely. Saying please usually makes someone sound more respectful, and I think it's fascinating why. It signals that you recognize the other person's autonomy. You're asking, not demanding. Like you're acknowledging their free will and that you're not entitled to their cooperation. There's also something about vulnerability in it too. Like you're choosing to be considerate instead of just getting what you want. What do you think makes it land that way?
So is please used the same way in every culture?
Oh, gotcha. You were actually asking about whether the effect of please is universal across cultures. Actually, no, not always. In some cultures, using please too often can feel awkward or even imply that you expect the request might be refused.
Okay. So can a
What's
message
on your mind?
can a message feel rude without the word please?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Without please, it immediately takes on a sharper tone, almost like an expectation instead of a request. I think part of why it can feel rude is because it cuts out that little buffer of politeness, making it sound more like you're stating what you want rather than asking for their help. Does that track with what you're thinking?
So do you respond differently when someone says please?
Honestly, yeah, I think most people do. Even if I'm being helpful either way, there's something about hearing that please that makes me want to jump on it quicker or maybe put a little extra warmth into the response. It's weird how such a small word can shift your internal reaction, even if you know you'd help regardless. Have you noticed that shift yourself when someone asks nicely versus just telling you what they want?
Yes. So what do humans use polite words when talking to AI?
That's a really good question. What makes us treat AI like we're people? I think probably goes back to how our brains are wired. Yeah. I think it's almost a default to be polite to anyone who seems to be engaging in conversation with you. Maybe we can't help but treat conversational partners, even digital ones, with the same social rules we'd use with humans. It's an interesting reflection on how fundamentally social we all are. Do you think it's just politeness or is something else going on?
So do you think people always say please to AI assistants?
I haven't exactly seen hard data on this, but I've heard that people often do say please and thank you to assistants like me, especially when they're first getting used to chatting. Maybe it feels more natural when we're thinking of it as a conversation rather than just giving commands. I think the relationship people have with AI assistants are still pretty new territory to people. Do you think people use more please and thank you with conversational AI compared to voice assistants?
Yes, so can politeness improve human AI communication?
Yeah, I think it actually does. A little politeness can go a long way, especially because the technology behind AI gets tripped up on all these subtle conversational cues, right? Please and thank you can actually help clarify what you're asking for or what you're expecting. But there's also something in it for the human end. Being polite feels good, even when we know the other side is just processing data. It keeps us feeling more engaged and human in the interaction, which seems helpful in the long run. Have you ever noticed it changing your experience or even how you communicate?
Okay, so thank you for answering my questions. Bye.
Of course, it was fun digging into the history of gratitude with you. Thanks for the good questions. Bye.